Hey, friends, before we jump into today's episode, we want to make sure you know that registration is open for the next free Math is Figure Outable challenge happening August 26, 27, 28.
Y'all, nearly 40,000 educators have registered for a challenge to date, which is just incredible.
This challenge is all about reaching more students by helping students experience math that connects across grade levels. We'll explore the models that grow with students, like area models, ratio tables, and number lines, so that the mathematical models they learn today keep working and help learning tomorrow.
You'll see how what you do this year feeds into next year's math and beyond, empowering students to build on what they already know instead of starting over every year.
It's 3 evenings where we math together, reason together, and experience mathematics as something that actually makes sense.
We'll meet live each evening at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Y'all, you can register now at mathisfigureoutable.com/challenge.
All right, let's get into this episode.
Woo. Hey, fellow mathers, welcome to the podcast where math is figure outable. I had to swallow. I'm Pam Harris, a former mimicker turned mather.
And I'm Kim Montague, a reasoner who now knows how to share her thinking with others. At Math is Figure Outable, we are on a mission to improve math teaching.
We know that algorithms are amazing historic achievements, but they are not good teaching tools because mimicking step-by-step procedures actually traps students into using less sophisticated reasoning than the problems are intended to develop.
In this podcast, we help you teach mathing, building relationships with your students, and grappling with mathematical relationships.
Thanks for joining us to make math more figure-outable. Dum-dum.
Hello there.
Hey, so Kim, last week we talked about this kind of cool thing that I saw that has kind of been helping me think about some of the ways that we do stuff. I love how it fits kind of our paradigm. Out there in the world, if you want to Google it, it's called the results pyramid. Now, I'm going to be really clear. This is based on my understanding of the results pyramid. So somebody might be out there going, I went to the official training and it's slightly different. That's okay. This is how we're using it at Math is Figure Outable. So just there we are. So picture a pyramid. The very bottom of the pyramid is experiences because experiences are necessary to influence your beliefs. That's the next rung up. So we have experiences that influence and impact and drive our beliefs. And then our beliefs impact and drive and influence our actions that the actions then therefore produce results. So the pyramid looks like experiences are the kind of the bedrock basis, and then beliefs are kind of come out of that, built on that, and then actions kind of happen because of that, and we get the results at the top. And last week we talked all about how often we just sort of say, ooh, we want better test scores, so do these actions, teachers or students. We want you to get more things correct, so solve the problem in this way. But what we don't maybe have thought about, let's be clear, because we weren't taught this way. We were taught exactly that way, right? Do these things so you'll get these results.
Yeah.
We're suggesting that if we give kids and teachers experiences, mathing, so that they believe that math is figure outable, then that influences their actions of solving problems using what they know, logicking their way through the problem. Those are actually the actions of mathematicians, the mental actions mathematicians do. And therefore we get results of correct answers, but also more people mathing. The doors to everything are opened up to more people because everybody now believes that math is figure outable and that they can math. So experiences impact beliefs, influence your actions that therefore create results.
Yeah. We've been talking about experiences, not necessarily with this pyramid, but just experiences in general for quite some time. You know, we talk about how we have students in our classes who have more experience mathing and less experience mathing. Maybe their parents, did some stuff with them when they were growing up, or maybe they had a teacher who gave them more experiences. But I think I want to be clear here, because we're talking about experiences, that we don't just mean do more of the same thing over and over and over again. When we say more experiences, we mean varied experiences, different kinds of experiences, because everybody's reached in different ways. So anyway, I wanted to say that. And
can I add on to that?
Yeah, sure.
And we want to help learners learn multifaceted. We want them to have a deep understanding, not just a one way, one shallow kind of one neural connection. We want to have dense connections in your brains. So that's another reason we want varied experiences for everybody. Now, even those students who look successful.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually thinking specifically about fractions, and we've spent a lot of time. People ask a lot after, especially after the fraction workshop,
Mm-hmm.
that, it's chock full of different kinds of experiences that kids can have.
Mm-hmm.
And if we just did the same one thing over and over again, they wouldn't be as connected, wouldn't have as much deep understanding of fractions. I
Nice.
found a review that I wanted to read, and I know
Oh
I
yeah.
usually start with this, but
Review.
here's an experience. So this person, Jay Stinger Benton, said, "I love podcasts. For over a decade, I've been listening to education related podcasts on my commute to school. It's a great use of time.
Nice.
When I started a new position as a math interventionist, I searched for a podcast that could help. Finding Pam and Kim has changed my life. I began
Aw.
listening 3 years ago to become a better teacher, but in the process, I have gained so much awareness about my own mathematical thinking. I'm now able to take my newly found knowledge and confidence into the classroom and share with students and among colleagues. With so many fixed mindsets and fake mathing that exists in schools, it feels like an insurmountable task, but I'm convinced that the math is figure outable movement will prevail. Spread the word."
Aw.
So, I love this one because Jay Stinger Benton has had experience listening to the podcast that then changed their life. They gained awareness about their own mathematical thinking. It is nudging them to action to take that knowledge into the classroom and share with students. And I believe that they'll get results, but it just exemplified for me this results pyramid that you're talking about. Gaining
Yeah.
experience and understanding and learning in a podcast is one type of experience that you can have. Thanks for
Nice. And
listening,
that,
Jay Stinger.
yeah, G. Stinger Benton. Thanks. So the experience of listening and engaging in the math that we do during the podcast can
Yeah.
impact your belief. Where Jay Stinger Benton said, "I'm convinced math is figure outable. I'm so much more awareness of my own mathematical thinking that influenced Jay Stinger Benton's beliefs, which then influenced actions in the classroom,
Yeah.
knowledge and confidence, and sharing it with students and among colleagues, which therefore has then resulted in results. There's got to be a
Yeah.
better way to say that.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to spread the word, Jay Stinger Benton. And thanks for the 5-star review and the words, because that definitely helps more people find the podcast. And we're hoping that it's an important experience for many of you that were like me, that grew up thinking math wasn't figure outable, or like
Yeah.
Kim, who grew up thinking that math was figure outable, but in school you do this other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So Kim, what are some other experiences, because we're talking about varied experiences here, that you listeners might consider as you progress, as you want to learn more about math being figure outable let's think about the results pyramid. You want to get the results in your classroom. So you're wondering what actions to do. So we want to impact your beliefs. What kind of experiences could you get to sort of make that happen?
Yeah.
So Kim, I have a quote. Oh, did you want to say something first?
Well, yeah, I was going to say what's great about podcasts is that you can do them on your commute. But there might also be other kinds of experiences because you can't see. We have an audio podcast.
Yeah, for lots of reasons. And so the visual's not there. So yeah, it's a great lead into the experience I was going to mention. So Laura Bro, who's taken many of our asynchronous online workshops, said, "I am amazed at how transformative all of the workshops are. I've been teaching for 23 years and I've never felt so prepared to implement new learning from a workshop." So let me take that quote apart for just a minute. I would invite everyone to consider that what we do in our asynchronous online building powerful mathematics workshops is we do a lot of experiences. We do a lot of problem strings and rich tasks where teachers are really engaged, experiencing real math thing. And so then that impacts their beliefs, which is why I think Laura can say transformative. Like that, when you say transformative, I don't think people think about that as just an action change. That's right. Transformative means that it's really impacted the way you see things and believe in things.
Yeah.
And then that resulted in the action that she feels very prepared, never felt so prepared to implement new learning. She feels prepared to implement new learning. That action, she's implementing that new learning and bam, getting results. And Laura, you're getting great results. Like I said, she's one of our in our asynchronous workshops. So we hear from Laura a lot. She's also in our coaching group and she's just doing amazing things to get those results, all based on having these experiences that impacted her beliefs about math being figure outable, impacted the actions that she now feels so prepared to implement which then gets results.
Yeah. I think Laura probably also listens to podcasts.
Mm.
So it's like a double dose, right? Like you get one thing from workshops, you get one thing from podcasts. So
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be either or. It,
Mm. Mm.
you don't have to find the one experience that's for
Varied.
you. Sometimes you like this, sometimes you like that. And all of that creates that same kind of density that we talked about earlier with kids, that we want them to have variety so that it's not just the one same thing over and over again.
Again, because the denseness, like you just said. Yeah, nice. So I'll do another quick quote. Allison Cullen said, "The relationships I developed from taking this workshop have built my confidence." See that belief in there?
Mm-hmm.
Working with fractions. Now I know that fractions are figure outable. Ooh, again, belief. Fractions are figure outable. Thanks to this workshop, I have learned activities, things to do that I can use with my students to help them develop powerful fractional understanding. My
Which gets you results.
Which gets you results. Very nice. And then I love this imagery that she uses. My understanding of fractions used to feel like shining a flashlight on a small spot. I had lots of understandings which I could move the flashlight around to see, but lacked the big picture and connections. Now the light switch is on and I no longer need a flashlight. Oh,
That's beautiful.
that is like poetic. Like
It
it's
is.
so nice that does anybody else feel like that's your kind of that is such an image of my understanding of math before I found out that math is figure outable. It was all these little bits of things. And if I kind of looked over at them with a flashlight, then I could kind of make some sense of some of it. But
That's
boy,
such a beautiful image. I feel like you and I had a conversation, or maybe, I don't know if it was on the podcast or somewhere else recently, where we were talking about the more deeply teachers, people own any particular content, the more they can flow between things and they can kind of like step back. I feel like we talked
the
about this on an
lights on.
episode.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
lights on.
they can let go of the like this day, this day, this day, because they see how it's all connected.
Yeah, it's not this pinpointed flashlight. It's the whole
Yeah.
light. The whole light is on. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
sun is shining.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice. Let's turn to another kind of experience
Okay.
that most, if not many of us, can take advantage of, and that has to do with coaching.
Mm.
So I'm going to quote Susan Smith, who said, "I am so impressed not only with all the content available, but the organization of the content. I can already tell that choosing to join Journey, that's what we call our coaching program, teacher coaching program, was a worthwhile decision that will greatly impact my teaching and my students the upcoming school year and beyond." So I'll just note that she joins our teacher coaching program and says, "I can already tell that it's going to be worthwhile because it's impacting the way she thinks about teaching." So you can see the belief sort of shifting, like, I believe this is going to impact. And then she's going to put that into action. Those beliefs are firing her or influencing her actions that will help her then sort of move forward with her students and beyond. It's sort of
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Another person that talks kind of about coaching and what it means to be in a community, Tara says, "I'm a Journey member." Again, Journey is our teacher coaching program. It's a community, and convinced my principal to register our other grade 3 teachers. We've learned so much, and our students are too. We were able to watch at our own pace and watch and learn together as a group. So
Wow.
now we have this camaraderie and community and being able to ask questions when you have them and get feedback. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're mentioning Journey, because there are really nice experiences. Tara's got a sweet situation here where their principal joined like all of their team together to
Mm-hmm.
be able to be coached together and do things
Mm-hmm.
together. That's not always true. You know, we do have plenty of people in our coaching program who are solo, and
Which is a big reason why they've joined the coaching program, right?
right. And
Yeah,
so
they're
they
looking
get
for that.
camaraderie and they get to be coached together, and maybe they're the only teacher that teaches that thing in their school, or maybe they,
Maybe
for
they have
whatever reason. And
maybe they have
so,
colleagues who are not really interested in
yeah,
shifting. They're not
yeah.
interested in gaining new experiences. I worked with 7 delightful men who were like that. They really were. They were great. It was me. Well, maybe they were 8. I always used to say me and 8 men. That was the math department at one of the schools I taught at. But they weren't interested. So I was craving input and feedback and from a consistent, coherent place. And that's what we try to provide in our coaching program, where teachers really feel like they have community and coherent, consistent input and feedback on making math figure outable for themselves and for their students. So, Kim, another experience that I'm thinking about, we have a lot of leaders that listen to the podcast, and I wonder how many leaders were like, oh man, I sure wish you had something like that for coaches. Well, let me quote Lorna. She's an Aussie who said about our coaching program, our leader coaching program, math is figure outable is so powerful. I mean, how often can you reach out to the podcast creator, that's us, and have an answer to your question within hours? The fact I feel so comfortable asking questions and never feel dumb for asking what might be a really obvious question is why I love it all so much, especially as a leader. I'm always happy to admit I don't know something, but I also rarely have people I'm working with who know the answer. So having this great journey community to ask and get help has been fantastic. So she mentioned journey because we have our journey teacher coaching and we have our journey leader coaching program.
Yeah.
So listeners, we are inviting you to consider what opportunities do you have to take advantage of coaching at your campus, coaching at your district level, coaching community at your, golly, how do I say this? Your NCTM local affiliate and your NCTM state affiliate, if you're in the United States or Canada, your, those teacher associations that can provide some of this community and some of this support and coaching. What are those kinds? We're noticing a lot of brand new teachers. I shouldn't say brand new, a lot of younger teachers who are kind of choosing to not join in professional associations or choosing not to go to conferences. Boy, we would really invite you to reconsider that decision. I hear a lot of sort of what gen is that? I was about to say Gen Z, but is it that even? I don't know.
Oh, I have no idea.
A lot of younger teachers, because see, are you a boomer? I think I'm a boomer.
I have absolutely no idea.
I'm hearing a lot of younger teachers say things like, well, I'm not getting paid for that, or that's out of school hours. And I get that. I understand the desire to have, boundaries around your work life and everything. But I'll tell you, I'm going to quote Ray Barton, a wonderful mentor of mine. Early in my career said, get out of the four walls of your room, or over time they will close in on you. They will collapse in on you. That means get out, get some coaching, get some colleagues. And if you can't do that where you are, check out our teacher and our leader coaching programs called Journey and Journey Leader to help you gain the experiences that will help firm up your beliefs, that will help you then take actions that are based on those and get the results that you've been hoping for.
Yeah. And I don't think that it's about which experience is the best first experience or the next best experience. It's that we want you to have varied experiences. It's not about the best or the right one, but varied experiences, and pick from all the options that you have available. It's huge for impacting your life as a teacher and a leader.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if your goal is to make math figure outable, we invite you to check out the Math is Figure Outable community and the things that we offer so that you can choose from those and we can support you in your journey to make math figure outable. Y'all, thanks for tuning in, teaching more and more real math. To find out more about the Math is Figure Outable movement, visit mathisfigureoutable.com. Let's keep spreading the word that math is figure outable.
Hey, before you go, this is your reminder that registration is open for the next Math is Figure Outable Challenge, which is happening August 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Y'all, nearly 40,000 educators have already registered for challenges over the years, and we'd love for you to join us at this time to reach more students.
If you've been wondering how today's teaching impacts tomorrow's student, this challenge is for you. You'll discover how connected models help students make sense of mathematics year after year.
When we teach in ways that work when students are young and continue to work as the mathematics becomes more sophisticated, we're setting students up to do even more than we thought possible because math is figure outable as it continues.
We'll be live each evening at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Hey, head over to mathisfigureoutable.com/challenge to register.
We cannot wait to math with you.